Have you ever had that feeling, that prickly sensation on the back of your neck, that you're not alone? Even when you're the only one home? Well, let me tell you a story that will make you double-check your locks tonight. This happened to a friend of a friend, let's call her Chloe, and it all started when she moved into what she thought was her dream apartment. It was a beautiful old building with high ceilings and huge windows, the kind of place with character. For the first few weeks, everything was perfect. Chloe was busy unpacking, decorating, making this new space her own. But then the little things started. It began with noises. A soft tapping on the wall when no one was there. The sound of footsteps creaking on the floorboards in the hallway, only to find it empty when she went to look. At first, she brushed it off. Old buildings make weird noises, right? The pipes groan, the wood settles. It was easy to find a rational explanation for everything. She'd tell herself it was just the neighbors upstairs or the wind rattling the window frames. But the noises became more specific, more personal. She'd hear a faint whisper that sounded like her name, carried on the air when the apartment was dead silent. It was so faint, she'd wonder if she imagined it. Then things started moving. Small things at first. She'd leave her keys on the kitchen counter and find them on the coffee table in the living room. She'd close the cabinet door firmly, only to turn around moments later and see it wide open. Again, she tried to rationalize. Maybe she was just forgetful, tired from her new job. It's easy to misplace things when your mind is elsewhere. But a part of her, a small, cold knot of fear in her stomach, knew something was wrong. The turning point came one Tuesday night. Chloe was in the shower, the hot water and steam a welcome comfort after a long day. She was shampooing her hair, eyes closed, when she heard it. A distinct click. The sound of the bathroom door lock turning. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She was positive she hadn't locked it. She rinsed the shampoo out as fast as she could, her mind racing. Was it the landlord? Did he come in without notice? She wrapped a towel around herself, her hands shaking as she reached for the doorknob. She twisted it. It wouldn't budge. It was locked from the outside. Panic set in, cold and sharp. "Hello?" She called out, her voice trembling. "Is anyone there?" Silence. She banged on the door. "This isn't funny. Let me out." Nothing. Just the sound of her own frantic breathing echoing in the small, steamy room. For what felt like an eternity, she was trapped. And then, as suddenly as it had happened, she heard another click. The lock turned. She slowly twisted the knob, and the door swung open to an empty, silent apartment. After that night, the fear was constant. She couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. She'd be sitting on her couch and get a sudden, intense chill even though the windows were closed. She started seeing things out of the corner of her eye, a fleeting shadow, a dark shape darting just out of view. She tried to capture it on her phone, setting it up to record while she was out, but the videos always showed nothing, or would mysteriously corrupt and refuse to play. Her friends thought she was just stressed. "You're working too hard," they say. "You need to relax." But Chloe knew it wasn't stress. It was real. The entity was becoming bolder. One evening she was cooking dinner, music playing from her small speaker. Suddenly the music cut out. It was replaced by static, and then a voice. A low, guttural, raspy voice that wasn't human. It spoke a single word, her name. "Chloe!" She screamed and dropped the pan she was holding, sending food splattering across the floor. She ran out of the apartment and didn't come back until the next morning. The final straw happened a week later. She woke up in the middle of the night, not because of a noise, but because of a feeling. A weight. She slowly opened her eyes, her body paralyzed with fear. There was a heavy pressure on her chest, pinning her to the bed. Her room was pitch black, but she could sense a presence leaning over her. She could feel its cold breath on her face, a foul, musty smell like damp earth and decay. She couldn't scream, she couldn't move. All she could do was lie there, tears streaming down her face, as this invisible force held her down. After what felt like hours, the pressure lifted, the presence was gone. The next day, she broke her lease. She didn't care about the money, she just had to get out. She packed her things in a frenzy, not even bothering to sort them properly, just throwing everything into boxes and bags. Her friends helped her move, and as they carried the last box out, Chloe felt an overwhelming sense of relief wash over her. It was over. She was free. She moved into a brand new modern apartment complex on the other side of town. No old pipes, no creaky floors. For a month, there was peace. Blessed, wonderful silence. She started to feel like herself again. The fear began to fade, replaced by the memory of a bad dream. She told herself it was all tied to that old building, a place with a dark history maybe. But she was wrong. It wasn't the apartment that was haunted. It started again just like before, the tapping on the walls, the whispers of her name when she was alone, her keys moving from the hook by the door to her bedside table. The suffocating feeling of being watched returned, stronger than ever. The entity hadn't stayed in the old apartment. It had attached itself to her. It had followed her. One night, she was woken up by a scratching sound. It was coming from inside her closet. A slow, deliberate scratch against the wood. She lay in bed, frozen, listening. She knew with chilling certainty what was in there. The thing that had followed her from her old life into her new one. And this time, there was nowhere left to run. Chloe's story doesn't have a happy ending, at least not yet. She's still living in that new apartment, and the activity is escalating. She's been in touch with paranormal investigators, spiritual healers, anyone who will listen. She knows she's in a fight for her own sanity, for her own space. The terrifying truth is that sometimes when you invite something into your life, even unintentionally, it doesn't want to leave. What would you do if you were in her shoes? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more strange and unsettling stories. Stay safe out there.